All right, and we're going here. So, Boko, buddy, I appreciate you coming on the show. It means a lot to me.
Hey, my pleasure, Justin.
I was saying in the intro that I've been a fan of you since your rookie year, back when you played for Boko Imama. I think you were 16 years old.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you played in Halifax, and I saw you, and I was just like, who is this guy? He's an effective player, and it turned out that you had an amazing junior career. And honestly, before this podcast, I was talking to a lot of people just to try to get to know you as a player a bit more, because I lived away from Halifax, so I didn't get to see you as much as I wanted to. And I saw that you got 41 goals there, and I was just amazed, because a lot of people tell me that you're more of a physical player, but when I see that you get 41 goals your last year junior, I was just amazed. So I kind of want you to describe what you think a type of player you are.
Yeah, well, first thing first, thank you for having me. And yeah, like you said, started in Boko Imama as a 16-year-old. First year in the queue, obviously it's different for every player, right? You're away from home, and it's the first time that you deal with stuff like this. So as a 16-year-old, I didn't have much ice time, so obviously I needed to use my physical aspect of the game to create, to make a name first in the league, to try to impress my coach, have a little bit more ice time. So that's how I started playing physical, got into a little fights. But as a hockey player, I always knew that I could have done better, and finally it happened in my last season with 41 goals. So that was it.
That was incredible. Like, maybe if you could give maybe a little bit of advice to some players that play your style of game that are a bit younger, and essentially how you got those 41 goals. Did you park your ass in front of the net? Did you just stand by the side of the net? Did you deflect goals? Maybe give a little bit of insight, how you chipped away at 41 goals in that year.
Yeah, for sure. So as a physical player, as a big winger like me, it's a little bit tougher to move around guys, use toe drag. It's not everybody that have it in their tools. So I'm not really that guy that will come and just toe drag everyone and just snipe it, right? I knew I had a good shot, but at the same time I knew I was a pretty good player. So to create space, I was using my body. Like you said, sometimes you need to park yourself in front of the net, and I think the most important is just to study the game. I love watching hockey. I can see all the open spots in the O-zone, in the NHL game, sometimes even in a Q game. And I will just, during a game situation, I will try my best to think about it. So I'll put myself in a good position, and lucky enough, I had some great teammates that was able to find me too, and then I just used my shot.
That's awesome.
It was just a rebound goal.
I love it.
In front of the net, so.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm happy. That's a good answer. I want to talk to you also just about before hockey, because your body frame is ridiculous. You have the body of a linebacker. You're jacked. You're a man amongst boys. So I want to talk even before you started playing hockey. Did you play any other sports? Because I feel like you could dominate in anything that you do athletically.
Yeah, well, you had a good guess to start. So I did play football.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I played I did. I played basketball. I played soccer. I played baseball. I was around a lot of sports growing up, and I love all the sports that I did that was more physical. That was my go-to sport. So hockey and football, I stick with those two for over 12 years.
Wow.
And at some point, I needed to make a decision for my career, and I chose hockey.
Well, it looks like it's paying off now.
Yeah.
Growing up in Montreal, did you ever see any Expos games when you were younger?
Oh, no. Maybe once, if I remember.
Okay.
But, I was a little bit too young. I was born in 96.
Okay.
So I didn't really have the chance to see one of the games.
Okay. I was going to say, I was trying to figure, I didn't do my research before to find out when the Expos were done, but I knew you grew up in Montreal, and my grandparents are from Montreal, and when I was younger, I went to a bunch of Expos games when I was younger, and I remember them to this day, so I just wanted to know if you were there or not.
Yeah, that's awesome. guys make me love you more.
Yeah, there we go. I love it. Well, most of my summers were spent in Montreal. I absolutely love that city. Fantastic.
So to me, you're a Montreal guy then.
Well, yeah, my last name's Belanger, so my dad.
That's pretty French.
Yeah, my dad.
That's cool.
Yeah, he grew up 2 streets away from the Olympic Stadium, so in that area.
Oh wow, straight downtown. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So yeah, okay. So let's go back to the Q here. In your, you played 2.5 years in Bako, and then you moved on to St. John and played another 2.5 years, and actually won a President's Cup there. When you went on to St. John and became more of, let's say, probably a leadership role, you're more developed, you know the junior style of game. What was it like going into that dressing room the first day in St. John? You know, because you're a bigger guy, you're a little intimidating. Do you find that people warmed up to you quickly, or did you have a little trouble fitting in that room in St. John right away?
Well, that's a great question. You know, like I think the Q, it's a really good league for every player. You grow up a lot, you know, you're a little bit on your own, stuff like this. So as a 16-year-old in Bako, you know, those 2.5 years make me grow up a lot as a person and as a hockey player too. Okay. So coming in St. John as an 18-year-old, you know, I was a little bit of a veteran. Made my name in the league. We know my physical game, you know, my fighting sometimes. So I knew pretty well that they would respect me a lot in St. John, and I knew a couple guys too, because when I got in, we were maybe 9 guys from Montreal. So there was like a ton of guys that I knew before. Were working out in the summer, stuff like that. So I think it was good. It was good for me. I got in at the right time. You know, all the top guys in St. John were still 17 or 18-year-old. So we knew we had something in the near future. And finally it paid off 2 years later. So that means last year when we won the President Cup.
I love it. I was talking to one of your teammates, Matt Green, today, and I was trying to get some dirt on you, and he was just saying that as soon as you came in the dressing room, everyone was just intimidated by you because you're such a physical presence. But once everyone got to know you, everyone just warmed up to you right away.
Yeah, so that's something that as a person I don't realize.
Yeah.
Because you know, when someone doesn't know me, and let's say you put my name on YouTube or on Google, all you're gonna see is that big guy that loves to throw his body around and fights and stuff. But that's my game on the ice. But out of the ice, I'm way different. I'm more of a laid back guy. I'm cool. I'm chill. I love to have fun. I love being around the boys. So when they get to know that side of me, they don't get scared anymore.
I love it. Like that's as I do this podcast and I talk to more physical players and I talk to them obviously outside of the rink and who they are as a person. They're just big teddy bears. They're just lovable guys that love having a good conversation, love having a beer every now and then, and they're just the most relatable people on the planet.
Exactly. So on the ice is something, and off the ice is, you know, you need to respect that. You know, that's what hockey is all about. You have your role. Just embrace your role. You do it for your team. You do it for your career. But off the ice, you're just being yourself. So I want to talk about off the ice really quickly for a second here. So I heard you're somewhat of a barber. You cut hair. Is this true? Yeah.
So
that's a funny story because, well, obviously my dad taught me at an early age. Because when I was playing in Bako or stuff like that, there was no one really to do my own hair. It was my dad that was doing it. I just started to do it on my own. And actually, one year I got suspended 15 games. That was my 19-year-old year.
Yeah.
So I just had nothing to do on the road. But the team wanted me on the road, so I was just at the hotel. I was just chilling, pranking the guys, and doing haircuts. And then it became more and more serious. Guys was coming in. So that's how it started.
How do you cut your hair by yourself? Do you have one of those mirrors that like wraps around your head, or do you just like put your iPhone out and get the clippers?
Oh yeah. I'm just doing it with my iPhone. So I look a little bit crazy when I do it, but you know what? No one's around me, so no one can see it.
That's hilarious. That's a good story. Okay, so when let's go move back into the game. So let's talk about when you got drafted to Tampa. Did you go to the draft that year, or were you at home?
Yeah, so my draft, that was really a crazy day. So you know, as an 18-year-old, you know, the draft was for the guy that was a year younger than me.
Yeah.
So, you know, I didn't really expect much. In my head, I was just getting an invite to a camp, and obviously I would go out there, grind, and make a name for myself. But so all of my friends, actually, it was our draft year, and that year was in Florida. So they all left like a week before, you know, as vacation at the same time, because you're in Florida, so they were just enjoying the sun. So I was home, and then just one day before the draft, the scout from Tampa Bay calls me. He's like, "Hey, Boko, this and that. I would love if you can bring your skates to the draft." I was like, well, I didn't know what to say. I was like, well, I'm home, and the draft is tomorrow, right? Well, the first one was tomorrow, the day after that call. So whatever, I called my agent, called my parents to tell them what that scout just told me. So the next morning, I was on the flight for Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Got there, brought my skates like they told me, and then that same night, I heard my name getting called by the Tampa Bay Lightning. So it was really a crazy story for me.
That is incredible. Talk about like, you know, like if you know you're gonna get drafted, the anticipation's terrible, but you find out like the day before, like you just must have went to 0 to 100 like in a second.
Well, I love it. I love it that way.
Yeah, of course.
I wish it was that way, because, you know, all of my friends were all stressed out. Oh, am I going to go first round? You know, I want to go first round, but I'm not sure. There's this guy too, those guys in Europe, those guys in the States. But me, all week, I was just chilling. I was just expecting for simple invites in the camp. And finally, they just called me and told me different. When, you know, I didn't have that much time to think, so things really happened quickly, so I was happy that way.
Oh man, that is such a better story than like sweating it out over the whole year, and then the day before you just find out. That's incredible.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so talk about like your family. Like, what did you guys do like to celebrate? Did you go out for dinner? What went after? What happened after?
Yeah, so it was really last minute, so I just had my mom with me and one of my sister.
Okay.
And my agent had 4 guys total getting drafted at the same time, and friends from the St. John Sea that were about 6 guys that got drafted, maybe 7 if I'm not mistaken.
That's incredible.
So obviously after the draft, we stayed in Florida for maybe 2 more days, just enjoying the beach, just celebrate. You know, we just had a get together kind of thing, just to enjoy that special day.
That sounds like a great experience, Jesus. Especially down in Florida. Most people pack their bathing suit. You're packing your skates. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, yeah.
So actually, we'll stick to bathing suits. You play out in California. You know, what's it like playing out there right now in California in the A? You just had your first year professional. Maybe tell the listeners the difference between junior and professional hockey and how you're handling it.
Yeah, well, in junior, in junior it's tough. Like, it's a good league. It's a really, really good hockey league, but you have all that support around you. So you have your billet family. You have someone in the organization that their job is to watch after guys, make sure the school is done properly, make sure this is done properly. So, you know, you have curfew. So the support in junior is really, it's like they give you a really big support to players, because obviously, like, maybe a 20-year-old guy doesn't need as much support, but as a team, you know, there's 16-year-old guys in your team, so they will treat all the players, they will treat them the same way. But in pros, you're strictly on your own. So when you're done your practice, so let's say we're done at 11 a.m., so we have the rest of the day just to do whatever you want. But that's why you need to be smarter. Like,
yeah,
if you're just going to the beach every day, or just going golfing every day and just gas your body out, well, you're not really smart. So that was a little transition that I had to do, and obviously living in California, it's a little bit more exciting. I have nothing against St. John, but there's way more stuff to do in California. So obviously you need to be smarter, and obviously, you're playing pro, so that means you're getting a pro paycheck. So with the money you have, it's easy to drift away from hockey and just start, doing things that you don't really need for your hockey career. So it's just that you just need to be a man. You need to grow up as a man. Do your stuff. Know what's good for you, what's bad for you, and if you keep it that way, you'll have no problem.
That's wicked. How far are you from? Like, I'm not saying you go to the beach every day, but like, how far are you from like Santa Monica or like Venice?
Yeah, it's just I think it's like 50 kilometers away, so it's really close.
Oh Jesus, that's not bad at all. Do you have a roommate down there?
Yeah, I had a roommate he was a guy. His name is Matt Love. He played in the OHL.
Okay.
So we were about the same age. So we were both rookies. First pro seasons for both of us.
Oh, so that's good.
It was pretty good.
What are some of your favorite hobbies to do out in California? I was just there 2 months ago. I love the state. Lots to do. Maybe if you could, what are some of the things you like to do out there?
Well, obviously, when I got there, I wanted to visit a bunch of places. I wanted to go in Venice. I wanted to go see Hollywood. I wanted to go see Beverly Hills. So on my time off, that's what I was doing. But at some point, when you saw all the spots, you're more low key, staying in town.
Yeah.
Played a lot of golf games, played a lot of basketball games with the guys. So everything that I was doing with the guys, I really enjoyed it.
Nice. So what's the fan base like out there? Like, how's the team treating you? Your first year playing pro, like maybe the travel tips, like what's the travel difference compared to junior?
Yeah, so we're lucky that in LA they put a lot of money in the development for the players.
Nice.
So they treat us really, really good. They gave us everything we need pretty much.
Nice.
And since I'm in the West Conference, we're able to fly for some games, which make us save a lot of hours of sleep and stuff like this. So I really like it so far. And lucky for me, I was with Tampa Bay before. Well, even though I didn't really play in their organization because I was still in junior, but even in Tampa Bay, I could see that they were really top notch, and I got traded to a good place too. So I really got lucky that way.
I want to know the difference of food after the game from junior to the pros, because when you're in junior, it's usually just pizza, but when you go to the professional league, some other people tell me that you're getting chicken and salad and other things.
Yeah.
Is there a difference? Do you notice that?
Yeah. So on the road, obviously we have a meal after games on the road. So yeah, like you said, it will be really healthy stuff for us. Chicken, with some veggies. Well, everything you need in your body to get ready for the next game. And in home games or on our own, some guys love to cook. Some guys love to go to a nice steakhouse.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. So.
What's your go-to? What's your go-to on game days for a pre-game meal?
Yeah, so my pre-game meal, we had a good restaurant that was treating the boys pretty well. So it was just regular pasta with down in the Maritimes, we call that parm chicken.
Parm chicken, yeah.
Parm,
Yeah.
Chicken parm. So it was the same thing, but just a little bit different, but pretty much the same.
Do you remember back when you were in St. John, a restaurant that you really liked to go to, maybe back in St. John?
There was a lot of it, but Italian by Night, that was one of my favorite.
Oh, okay, there you go. A little local shout out.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I want to talk about your 15-game suspension, if that's all right. It's obviously still in Halifax's mind.
Yeah.
It was one of the, but anyone that's hockey, and I think that the style of game you play is a dying breed in the sport of hockey, and I hate that. And I think that you had an element of excitement to the game, and every time I watched you come to Halifax and play, I probably watched you more than the higher skilled players, because you had a higher effect on the game. It didn't matter the style of game you played. People are always knowing when you're on the ice because you could lay someone out and you can flip the game on its head in the matter of a second. So just like the game against Halifax when you got the 15-game suspension. Could you give us like a little insight of like what brewed up to that point and how it ended up like that?
Yeah, for sure. Well, everybody remember that incident, but there's a lot of stuff going on the ice that people don't really know. So now 2 years later, I don't really mind talking about it. So
that's what
there was one player in Halifax. I don't think I really need to mention his name. I think everyone knows I'm talking about him. So obviously he's more of a guy that loves to run around, loves to kind of choose his opponents. Like he knows like who to fight, who to not fight. And obviously, he started the game hitting one of my. Well, actually, Luke Green. He's from around.
Yeah, he was on the podcast like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so he hit Luke Green a little bit from behind. So obviously, I was like the big brother on the team. I was like, hey, like I know you have a role to play, and me too have my own role, but just watch it. It was more of a warning.
Yeah.
So just watch it. So obviously he's on my list. So I'll be watching for him all game. If he's doing some cheap shots, stuff like this, obviously I'm going to go see him. And then a little bit later in the game, that's when he decided to grab Delino. So in my head, it's just like you use disrespect, because I just warned you about a hit from behind, and now you're jumping my younger player on my team. And Delino, he's not really a fighter, stuff like this. And I think everyone knew that if I was in St. John, it was a little bit because of him.
Yeah.
Because I could watch out for him, stuff like this. So that's when I just decided to get on and do what I do.
No, it was awesome. As soon as I posted the picture on Instagram that you were coming on, I think I got like 5 messages, and everyone was just like, "You have to ask him about the situation." I was like, "Yeah, I will." So yeah,
that was it.
I'm happy. I'm happy. And then you got to look at the positive side of that. At least after that, you learned how to cut your hair.
Exactly.
So you're saving money by that incident too.
Yeah, that incident. Well, I actually won Student of the Month too. I didn't have to miss any classes, stuff like this. So all my homework was done, and started to cut people's hair. So kind of a win-win situation.
You're like an entrepreneur. You got some free time. You kind of start a business up. You get some work done at school. It kind of benefited you in the long run.
Hey, exactly.
That's hilarious. Yes, I want to talk about the trade from Tampa to LA. Was that expected? Did they give you a reason why the trade was going down? I know hockey's a business, but was there any explanation that they gave you?
Not really much. Everything happens fast, right?
Yeah.
And me and Tampa, we always had a great relationship. They're really a nice organization. They talk to all their players. They're giving love and support to all their players. But if they had to do it, they had to do it.
Yeah.
Like I said before, lucky for me, I was going in a great place too. So.
Oh yeah.
And at the end of the day, my goal is to play one day in the NHL. So if it wasn't out for Tampa, then it's just going to be for a different team.
Yeah. And as soon as you got traded, too, you signed your contract, right? Right when you went to LA.
Yeah, so that happened pretty fast too. So I got traded. I talked to the guys in LA, and they were like, "All right, we're just going to send you your contract tomorrow." Everything was just going fast, pretty much like my draft. So I was just happy about it. I didn't sleep that night, just waiting for that text about the contract, and finally I got it. I didn't think twice, signed it right away, and then was happy.
Deadly, man. Those are some great years in your life right there. Like when you signed that contract, holy smokes. I couldn't even imagine the feeling going through you.
Yeah.
Did you buy anything yet? Did you get a car, or do you saving your money? What'd you do?
Yeah, obviously I got a car because the car that I had before was pretty much beat down. So I had to change it. I treat myself a little bit, take out my sisters.
There you go.
But I'm being pretty smart too, and I don't think it's money that will last forever. So obviously you need to be smart.
Attaboy, good answer. I want to talk about like when you go to training camp for the Los Angeles Kings, I think last year. Is the training camp facility by the beach?
Pretty much. So their practice facility is in a place called El Segundo in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And the closest beach is called Hermosa Beach, which is 10 to 15 minutes away.
Oh, so where do all the players on the team live? Do they live by the beach? Because I remember watching a documentary on Mike Richards like 4 years ago when the NHL did something, and he lived right on the beach. And I was like, I wonder where their practice facility is. It must be close to the beach. So now that I had you on, I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, like I said, it's 10 minutes away. All the guys are down to the beach. So obviously, if you play in LA, you need to live the lifestyle a little bit too.
Yes.
Not everyone that have the chance to play in California, so
absolutely.
might take advantage of it.
When you were ever roaming around the Staples Center, did you ever run into anyone famous?
Not at the Staple, but just on the street. Just on the street, sometimes you will see, someone famous, and you don't even realize that it's someone, and then you're like, oh, well, this is this guy,
Who have you seen?
I saw Post Malone, Tiana Taylor,
nice.
And that was it.
Right on. One day they'll be saying, oh, there's Boko.
Hey, hopefully, yeah, that's the goal.
You got to envision it, man. If you envision it, it'll happen. I'm telling you.
For sure. Thank you.
Man, no worries. So yeah, when you're starting training camp, when do you start training camp?
So in September. I have a couple of times left to keep training and do my thing to get better.
How? So if your training camp is in September, do you head out there like August, early August, late August?
Actually, I don't know. I know the team will keep us updated with everything, but should be around that time, yeah.
Are you training right now, or are you going to be taking vacation anytime soon?
Oh, no, I started training already. I think I'm up to 2 weeks of training already, so everything's going pretty well.
Jeez, who are you training with? Any notable names out in Montreal?
Yeah, his name is John Chamber at APC.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of guys in the NHL, in the American Hockey League that trains there.
Okay, right on. What are some of the things that you like to do in Montreal in the summertime? Do you ever go? What's that amusement park there, Laurent?
Yeah. Well, I used to go there when I was younger, but now it's not really my thing. But
yeah, I guess so.
No, I'm just happy to be around my friends, be around my family. That's all that matters.
Nice, man. No, that's good. So yeah, essentially, I just want to know when you're training, like, you've been a fighter, you've fought, and you've dummied kids. Do you ever like box when you train? Like your trainer, I forget his name, you just mentioned it, but do you ever box?
Yeah, I love to join some boxing. Just work on those striking techniques, stuff like this. But I'm not doing it too much. I'm probably just gonna do it maybe 3 to 4 times, just right before leaving for training camps.
Okay.
But most of the time, I'm just focusing on hockey, and that was the most important.
How many times a week are you on the ice in the summertime?
2 to 4 times.
Oh, that's not bad.
3 to 4 times.
Man, out here in Halifax in the summertime, because of Crosby's here, right? Like the amount of guys that come out here is ridiculous just to play with him and McKinnon.
Yeah, for sure.
I used to work in the hotel industry, like a fancy hotel, actually right next to the Metro Center, and like all the boys would roll in for like 3 weeks, during the summer, just to skate with Sid, and the whole city would just be buzzing because all these superstars are in the city. So I was just wondering if there was like a Montreal super practice team or something that you were like involved with.
Oh no, not really. I go to some events there and there, but. Yeah, just keeping it simple,
Attaboy, keeping it simple. That's good. Because that's another thing I wanted to relate back to pro hockey and junior hockey. Because how many more games are there in pro hockey compared to junior? Are you playing 82 games in the A?
So in the A, the A is a little bit weird. So exactly like the Q.
Okay.
But down the east, they have 76.
76.
76. And in the A, the first round of playoffs are best of fives, not best of sevens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's it's only the first round?
Yeah, only the first round.
How far did you guys go this year?
First round.
Oh, sorry to hear that, buddy.
Yeah, it's all good.
So what are you looking
Sure.
So what are you looking forward to most about next year? Are you in contact with any of the coaches in the organization throughout the summer? Did they tell you what they want you to work on? And maybe you could give the listeners a little bit of insight to your development.
Yeah, obviously it's more my game in general. I think I showed that I can be a physical guy in the pros, playing tough. Just playing my role, but now I need to show that. But as a second year, I need to show that I can even bring more on the table. Control the puck down low, make some plays. Help the team to score goals too. So that's a little bit what I'm working on this summer too, with my skills coach.
Okay.
And so working hard in this summer, and then I'm just excited for next season to prove what I can bring to the table.
I love it. If I'm out in California next year, I'm gonna message you and we're gonna meet up. I'll come watch a game.
Hey, for sure. I'll be happy to have you.
So have you been watching the NHL playoffs? Obviously, I hope so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So who do you think Washington's going to win it next game, or do you think Vegas is going to come back and maybe tie it up, or what do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think Washington is going to win. I think that's a really hungry team, and Vegas obviously it's phenomenal what it did this season. And it's great. It's great for this organization. With a lot of potential. Did a great job. All their players really want to win too, but a guy like Ovechkin that's been around for more than a decade, I think it's time for him to get it.
Yeah, I like that. I don't think they're going to win it next game, but I do think Vegas is going to come back and win like one more. I think it'll go Game 6.
Yeah, but that's obviously that's really two great hockey clubs, so everything can happen at this point.
Now that I think about it, Vegas and LA, is that considered a rivalry yet, or it could be soon?
It's getting there.
Honestly, it's guys like you that can create a rivalry. Like if you make LA and you let's say make a huge hit or something and it can get a game going, I swear to God, man, it's guys like you that can create a rivalry. I know it might be hard to take that in right now, but as a viewer and a fan, that's what I think of.
For sure. Just playing my style.
Absolutely.
I'm playing my style like there's a lot of enemies, so I like it that way.
Absolutely. Well, man, listen, I got everything I wanted out of you. We're over a half an hour here. You answered my questions to a T. You were exactly what I thought. I appreciate you coming on. Hello?
Hey, no problem. It was a pleasure for me. And like you said, anytime you're in LA, you can hit me up.
Sounds good, buddy. Anyways, yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and just stay. I'm gonna hang up the podcast here, but stay on the line. I'll talk to you in a sec here.
All right, thank you.
All right. Once again, thank you to all the listeners. I appreciate you. The support has been tremendous. If you could go to all the social media pages and like, comment, subscribe, I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. I love you guys. We're out.